Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the AirWatch webinar. My name is Esrat, and I will start the presentation very soon. We're just waiting for more people to join us. So by 11:35, we will roll with the presentation. In the meantime, if I could get you to kindly comment on the chat section with your first name and your last name and which school you're from. That way, we can update our attendance. And if you have any question, we can also track it. So yes, you might. So if you can comment on the chat section, you will notice it will ask you to create a channel. So I believe if you got the email, it actually gives you instruction on how to create the channel. Hello, Mr. Bruce. Thank you for joining. Hello, Ross. So 3 more minutes till we go live. Just waiting for more people to join us. And as I mentioned, if you could kindly mention your first name and your last name and which school you're from. And I can already see many people have already done that. So thank you so much for that. Can everyone hear me? Just doing a sound check. Thank you so much once again. We will start in 1 minute, just waiting for other people to join us. It's most likely everyone was asked to create a channel, so that's why it's taking a bit time, but we will begin in 1 minute. All right, so it is 11:35, and hello, my name is Esrat, and I will be conducting the AirWatch webinar for you today. And I just want to say thank you so much for taking your time out. I know it's a lunch time, but I hope this webinar will help you really to understand the AirWatch environment. So on my left, I have my colleague Brandon, who will be answering all your questions and also responding you to the chat. And if we can get to a question on the chat, we will try to answer it at the end of the webinar. It could just be that it requires a more detailed response. So, first of all, there are a couple of things that you might have to adjust. So this webinar is recorded and it will be available at the end of webinar using the same YouTube link. So you might not be able to go back right now. However, at the end of the webinar, you can use the same link to go back. And there is a 10-second delay. So whatever I'm saying right now, there will be a 10-second delay for you to hear it. So if you're asking a question on the chat here, then if we are taking a bit time to respond, then that's probably because of the delay. But again, I have Brandon here on my left. He will try to answer all your question. And feel free to ask any question, because asking a question really helps us to dig deeper and to really discover our products more. Okay, so if you are having issue with the quality of the video, you can adjust it. So there is actually a gear icon at the bottom right corner of the YouTube. So you'll see the quality portion. You can actually play along with it. So whatever is the best for you, then just go ahead and adjust it according to it. Okay. Also, you can actually switch between 1080 and 720. But if it's already set to auto, then you're good. And next, make sure the live button is set to red, because if it's not really set to red, it's not really live. So if you don't see the red, just make sure click on it. It will actually automatically become red. Okay, so without any further ado, my name is Esrat. I've been working with CSD for 2 years, and me, Brandon, we have been working on this project, trying to figure out how to really, introduce this product to our teachers and see how we can utilize it to manage our iPads. So we want our schools to really get familiarized with the AirWatch environment and how to utilize it to manage the iPads. We want to show you what are the key benefits of this product, and we will actually demonstrate for you how you can use this AirWatch in your daily school environment. So what is it? AirWatch is actually a mobile device management system. You'll hear it being referred as MDM, which means mobile device management system, and then enterprise mobility management. Basically, it means the same thing. It's a web-based application. It allows you to configure and manage your iPad from a single web-based application. And regardless of where you are, you just log into a console, you have access to all your iPads, you can configure them. So benefits. Mostly what we noticed was previously with our iPads, it's the Wi-Fi. Which Wi-Fi do I connect to? Which portal do we sign into? So once the device is on AirWatch, it will connect to WLAN TDSP. So you no longer have to worry about which network you need to choose. All the iPads on your AirWatch should go to WLAN TDSP. If you are logging in if you are enrolling the device for the first time, you need to sign in using TDSP Wi-Fi. For username, it's your employee number, and for password, it's your network password. And secondly, easy app installation for multiple iPads. So previously, you actually had to install app individually on each iPad, which is very time consuming if you have a large number of iPads. AirWatch makes it easier for you. And it's actually a consistent experience between iPads. So your iPad 1 will look exactly same as your iPad 2. It's the same blue background with a TDSP image on it, same app. If you want to have the same app on your iPads, you can also organize it in that same manner. And then we have built-in security policy, which prevents our students from adding or removing apps or locking the device and applying passcode. So, we noticed that there is an increasing call where students use an unauthorized Apple ID or they have placed a passcode, which creates a lot of issue, such as locking the device. Then, you have to connect it to iTunes to really wipe the device, to put it to factory setting, or call Apple to get it removed from that unauthorized Apple ID. So with AirWatch, those security features are actually blocked. Only administrators and teachers can modify this. And remote wireless configuration and updates. So what remote really means is that if those iPads are connected on the wireless WLAN, you can send instruction to them, such as you can push out iOS update, you can wipe the device, remove passcode using AirWatch website. And it removes the requirement for Apple ID. So the Mobile G account, the famous, you no longer need to use that anymore. AirWatch really manages the perspective of that Apple ID, starting with apps and whatever app you have purchased, whatever app you need, you'll have it under one place. Okay, so now, actually, before we jump into who can log in, I want to show you what happens to a device when it's on AirWatch. So once a device is actually on AirWatch, let me connect my iPad that way. Just bear with me 1 second. Oh, I actually lost it. Okay, so you can see my iPad is right now here on the screen. So once a device is on AirWatch, you'll see that blue background at the back. That's the background I'm talking about. All the iPads that are on AirWatch will have the same background. And then two most important apps that you will notice when your device is on AirWatch is the agent and catalog. The reason it's very important, catalog actually shows you what are your apps, like mandatory apps that are here, or apps that you want on demand. So you can see those apps under this section. So here, AirWatch is the most mandatory apps by default, should be on each iPad. If you don't see it, you can press install. It will install it from here. And next we're the agent app. This agent app is important because this actually, if you don't sign into agent, it hides the security feature of your iPad. What do I mean by security feature? So if you go into settings, previously you would have noticed you had a section for passcode, and then you also had a section for Apple ID and iClouds. You no longer see this right here. That's because we are not logged into agent. The moment I log into agent, these options will become available. So in order for me to log into agent, I'll have to put in my information. I'm just going to disconnect from my iPad because it doesn't really mask the password section. Okay, so I'm just going to log in here. So to log in, you use your employee number, and then okay, I'm just gonna key in my password the moment I switch over. The moment I switch over my put in my password, I can switch over. Okay, so now that I have logged in, it's loading, and it will say success. That means you have successfully logged in, and you'll notice that it will load up to a screen which will tell you whether the device is on AirWatch or not, whether you have successfully logged in or not. Okay, so it tells you information such as what kind of iPad it is, whether the device is enrolled or not, and the connectivity. Okay, so now let's look at what option does it open up for us. So now you can see if we go into settings here, now we will have the option such as iClouds, iTunes, and App Store. Then we also have an option for passcode. I don't see it's appearing here, but oh, right here. So you see that option right here. You will see that passcode option. By default, devices that are on AirWatch, that feature is turned off. We turned off that passcode feature. But if you have a specific reason and you would like to have that feature on, you can just simply come in here, log into agent, and then turn passcode on. And then, but keep in mind, whenever you're handing the iPad back to the student or to whomever, if you're done modifying it, just simply log out of it, because you don't want those to be open for them, so then they will have more access to those features. Okay, so I'm now going to switch over to my presentation. Okay, so now let's look at who can log in. So by default, principals are the AirWatch administrator for the site. Now, if they want more, if the principal wants someone else to be an AirWatch administrator, first they will have to add that person using LAS. So if you're trying to log into AirWatch website right now, and if you see you're not able to log in, that's most likely because your principal has not added you as an AirWatch administrator. And it takes about 12 to 24 hours for the administrator to have access to the console. And okay, So now actually, I also want to let you know that today we will also conduct demos. So we will actually, our demo will cover navigating the AirWatch console. We will show you how to organize your iPads using smart groups. Smart groups are very important when it comes to pushing the apps as well pushing out web clips. Web clips are essentially shortcuts, like shortcuts to a web page. And we will show you also how to add or remove apps. Okay, so now actually I'm going to show you how to log in. So to log into the AirWatch website, you'll see this, this is the login page. But the link is, it's actually a bit mouthful, but it is, don't know if you can see it, it's https://cn239.awmdm.com. Okay. So the format to log in is TDSB. It doesn't matter if you type the TDSB in capital or small case. It's not case sensitive. / your employee number. And then your network password. Once you log in, my screen will be a bit different than the one that you have. First, you'll be greeted with accept the term of agreement. So you'll actually, if you're logging in for the first time, you'll notice this. But if this is not your first time, you'll not get this. So you'll have to accept the terms of agreement. Secondly, you'll be asked to create a 4-digit PIN. Now this PIN is important because it's only specific to your account. Whenever you're performing an administrative task, such as performing a device wipe, which is putting it to a factory reset, you'll be asked for this PIN. Now you don't need to share this PIN with anyone else because, again, it's specific to your account. So once you have put in the security PIN, confirm the security PIN and then click Save. Okay, I'm just going to hit Login. So once you log in, the first screen you'll notice is the dashboard. And you'll notice that you'll actually have 3 sections. I have a little bit more. That's simply because of my role right here. I'm actually going to switch. This is my help desk role. I actually have a test role. Just going to switch over so that it looks a little like yours. Okay, so on the left corner, you will see devices, apps and books, and groups and settings. They're very self-explanatory. They're subdivided into their section. So let's just cover what's dashboard. Dashboard actually gives you a live, high-level overview of your school AirWatch environment. It contains statistical information of your AirWatch environment regarding your devices. So you know how many devices you have in your environment. Right now I have 5 devices in my environment. For you it might be a little more. Okay, and then you can also see last in overview. These are the devices that have last spoken to AirWatch. So if you notice devices that falls under greater than 31 days, that means either the device is lost, it's lost its network connectivity. So you might want to fetch those devices and check if they're connected to Wi-Fi or not. Okay, now I'm going to move to the list view. So the list view actually shows you a list of all your iPads that are available under your environment. And it contains general information such as the iPad name, what's the platform, the iOS version, and whether it's enrolled or not. Okay, so what I would suggest is for the initial process, when you first enroll your iPad to the AirWatch, make sure you're logged into the AirWatch website as well. So now that you have enrolled your iPad to AirWatch, come back to this AirWatch website again, refresh the page. You'll see the list of iPads that are available under here. Now go in to that specific iPad and provide a friendly name for it. Because right now, see, this is my iPad. But really, does it have any meaning to me? No. So you want to provide a friendly name to your iPad. Really, it makes it easier for you to recall the device and to organize it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to actually provide a friendly name to your device. So we're going to click on the pencil icon right here. So see here, I have a friendly name that's showing this. So I'm just going to simply name it to Library iPad Cart 2. and then you want to enable this option because you want this device name to also show on the iPad, not just on your AirWatch environment. So when someone is using that iPad, if you tell them, hey, are you holding on to the library iPad, say number 2 and then cart 2, then they can easily answer, yes, this is the device name. So we're going to enable this and leave everything else the same and just simply click save. So this will reflect the change on the iPad. I actually want to show you whether it actually has changed the name on my iPad as well. Okay, so on my iPad, if I go under settings and then about, you'll see right now in the top right corner it says library iPad cart 2. So the best part about it, it makes the organization of the iPad much more easier. Okay, now let's move into details view. So to go into the details view of a device, you actually have to select an iPad. You won't see it under here. That's because details view really means diving down into the details of the device. To go in, I'm just going to simply select my iPad right here. This will take me into the details view of the iPad. Okay, so here you will notice the summary of your iPad, what organizational group it's part of. For you, it's most likely will say your school name here, and then you will notice the serial number of the device, the power status, the battery, the storage, and then physical memory, and lastly, the available OS update. So if you have any OS update available on your device, it will say right here. You can also you can also perform other tasks from here. We have apps tab here, also content, location, user. We're not going to cover that right now because they're not really that important to our webinar. So now let's move on to the more action tab. What can I do with the iPad? How can I configure my iPad using AirWatch? So if you notice the more action tab, if you notice the more action tab at the top right corner, if you click on it, you will see things like device wipe, iOS update, and then clear passcode. So you can actually perform all this from here. So remember, we just renamed our device to a friendly name. You can also do that from here. You can do edit device. Edit device will allow you to change your device name from here. And you can perform a device wipe using this one. And then you can also do iOS update. So if you have passcode set up on your device, you can use this to actually remove the passcode. And I actually want to show you another cool feature. So suppose if your device is lost and you want to find out where it is and you want to set up a message on it. So if I click this, I can set up a message saying this iPad belongs to music room 209. And if I click send, this will lock my iPad and it will not be usable. It will actually lock the iPad until I come back to this AirWatch screen and I say, actually I have to refresh the page. Okay. In the meantime, while this is being refreshed, I'm actually going to show you what my iPad says right now. See, my iPad right now, it says this device is lost. The reason it's actually showing black because it's not usable at the moment because it's a lost iPad. So meaning if someone has your iPad and you don't want them to control it, you can lock it using this message. And actually, I don't know why it's not showing it right now, but my iPad actually shows lost iPad. This iPad belongs to music room 209. So I will actually have to, so say that person returned me that iPad. So I can come in here, go into more action again, and I say disable lost mode. What it will do, it will say, okay, I found the iPad, you can unlock it now, it's good to go. So I will actually show you now what the iPad says. So see, oops, don't know what's going on with the iPad. Sorry, looks like a technical glitch and it's really embarrassing when you're doing a webinar, but I wish I could show you that my iPad is back to normal right now, but we're gonna move forward with it. So this actually simply locks the device, and then once you disable it, it puts it back to normal. And there's a device wipe. Now I'm not going to wipe my device, but I will walk you through it. So I also noticed someone asked, can I wipe the iPad using AirWatch? Yes, you can. And this is the part where it shows how to do it. So from more action, if I click on device wipe, it will come up with this screen. Now remember, we had to create a PIN at the first, when you logged in for the first time. That's the PIN you're going to use here. I'm not going to use the PIN because I don't want my device to reset right now. It will take a really long time. But yeah, so this part actually sends the instruction to your iPad, and it takes within few seconds, and your device is wiped to the factory reset. Now, if your device is wiped, it will when you return it back to normal process and you join it to AirWatch, it will not remember the friendly name. So you'll most likely have to set up the friendly name again. And in the case of where you forgot the security pin, there is an option for you to reset the security pin from the top right corner. You can go into manage account settings and you can reset your pin. For some reason, if you're not able to do that, simply give us a call and we'll look into this for you. Okay, now that we have covered the details view, let's now jump into apps and books, which is the most important part for us because we want to do this. So before we create apps and books, I want to tell you here what this does. So apps and books actually shows you what are the apps that are available under your school. Now, we have received so far a lot of calls saying, I don't see my apps. Where is it? So it's a very crucial step that you type in your school name or your Trillium number right here on the search list at the top right. Well, not to the very top right, but right corner. So make sure you type in, so I'm going to type in my Trillium number, which is 9991, but for you can type in Trillium number school name and then press enter. It will show you a list of apps that are available under your school. Now, if you have a question such as, why do other people see more app? Why do I not see more app? First thing you want to ask is that whether you have to follow the process. To request for an app, you have to fill up a form. If you filled up the form, it takes about 24 to 72 hours for the apps to complete. And when I say the app request form, I will actually have it here. So I'm not able to view it right now because I'm not logged in under my normal account. But at the end of the video, actually underneath the video, we have the link posted for the forms if you want to have a look at it. So that's the form you submit. And right now, I think it only allows you to type in 3 apps name. We're trying to maximize it so that you can put more than 3 apps. For GL account, you can leave it blank if it's a free app. Sorry, you can type in N-A, not available for GL, and I believe there's another portion where it says cost center CC, so you can do it not available for that. So yeah, and once that's submitted, it takes 24 to 72 hours for the apps to get pushed out. And if you don't see it, there's a tab called sync asset at the top. So see, it tells me here last sync by what employee number. So it's been more than 72 hours. I still don't see it. Click on this. It will actually force your AirWatch to communicate with Apple to refresh its server. So once you have done that and you still don't sorry, it looks like I got muted out. What was the last thing you heard? Sorry about that. Sorry. It should be back now. I placed my hand by mistake on top of the mute button. Thank you. So the last thing you heard was the sync button. Okay, okay, I'm just gonna go back to what I was talking about. So if you don't see the app, press the sync button. And if you still don't see the app, then give us a call. We will look into this for you. So I will just highlight what I was talking about. So I'm gonna use 1272. That's a school Trillium number. And actually, my view has changed. I'm really sorry. This actually happened last time too for us, and we lost the audio. It's really embarrassing. Okay, so apps and books, list view. This is where I was. And that's the last thing you probably heard. Okay, so I will type in my school Trillium number. Now I see these are apps that are available under my school. So I mentioned that suppose you have placed the form and then it has been over 24 to 72 hours and you still don't see it, you can press the sync asset button. What it'll do, it will force the AirWatch environment to communicate with Apple and just say, can you please update my list of apps? And if you still don't see it, you can then call us saying that I still don't see it. Now suppose if you have apps that you purchased before AirWatch using your mobile G account or under VPP, how do you look for that? I will actually show you where it appears. I'm just gonna switch my role because here it doesn't show me much. I'm going to use an example. I'm just going to use a test school that I have on mine, which is Bedford Park. Okay, now that I'm under Bedford. So suppose if this is your environment and you want to see apps that are purchased under Mobile G, you'll actually have to go under Groups and Settings, under Groups, and then under Assignment Groups. Now here you will see the list of apps that are purchased under your Mobile G account. How the format goes is you'll see your school name dash the app name. So here you'll see Bedford Park dash paper, Bedford Park dash pick collage. So these are paid apps that really appears under here, or you have a reserved license for it. So that's how you will see the apps. Now that we have covered just how the app section looks, before we push out an app, the most important thing is creating a smart group. So once you have enrolled your devices to the AirWatch environment, and then you have provided a friendly name to your devices, you want to go ahead and create a smart group, because it's very important that you organize your iPad into groups. Then that's the only way you can push out apps. So I'm going to show you how you can create a smart group. To create a smart group, you have to go under Groups and Settings, then Groups, then Organizational Group, then List View. Oh, looks like my view is different. Oh, sorry. So Groups and Settings, and then Assignment Groups. So I'll just do this again for you. So Groups and Setting, Groups, and then Assignment Groups. And once you're in there, click on Add Smart Group. This will allow you to create a smart group for your AirWatch environment. Now you'll notice two options: select criteria, select device or user. You want to go with the option select device or user. And then you're going to probably get a warning saying by switching this you'll lose all the section, but you want to click OK. Then it's going to ask you, then you're going to assign a name to it. What do you want to call your name? So if you have a set of apps that you want to assign to just your science class, you can just call it science group or science class 202. And these devices are just assigned to that class. So once you click under devices, it will show you a list of iPads that are available. You can select them from here. So I'm going to select my iPad that I named. I provided the name Library iPad 2 Cart 2. See the convention of naming your device, providing a friendly name for your device? It's easy for you to look it up, because you are not going to be able to find it by using the UDID number. So I'm going to click Add, and it's going to move it from the left corner to right corner, and you're going to click Save. That's it. That's really how you create a smart group. And then I'm just going to refresh it so that my group appears here. There, Science Class 2. Now I'm going to show you how to use this same smart group to push out apps. So to push out apps, you're going to go under Apps and Books. Same thing, you're going to type in your school Trillium number to see which app that are available under your school, and that's the app you're going to push out. So in my case, I'm going to use Google Sheets. So you're going to click on this Edit Assignment tab right here. Once you click on the Edit Assignment tab, it's going to show you the first thing, Enable Device Assignment. You want to make sure this is turned on. Once you click on this, it's going to say, are you sure you want to enable this? And you want to click OK. And the reason is because if you don't enable this, when you push out the apps to your iPad, it's going to prompt you with the Apple ID. It's going to say, what is your Apple ID? But by clicking on this, it tells the device, the AirWatch is sending the command, and this app is part of AirWatch, and so is this device. So please install this app on this device. But I'm not going to click cancel. I'm not going to click OK because we use this app for demo purposes. So I'm just going to show you another app that I really use. So same thing, Edit Assignment. And I've already turned that feature on for this app, so that's why I don't see it. So once you've turned it on, you will not see that again for that app. Now you want to click on this one, Add Assignment by License Code by Smart Group. Remember, you can only add apps using Smart Group. You cannot push out app to just one device or using serial number. So I'm going to click here, and then it's going to show me Select Smart Group. So if you have list of Smart Group, if you click on it, it's going to bring them all down. So I want to push it out to the smart group that I just created, which is called Science Class 202. I'm going to click on it, and it's going to say how many devices I have here. So make sure if you have 50 devices under this app, you want to allocate the same number, because if you have 50 devices and you allocate 20, it's not going to work. So, however, suppose if it's a paid app and it's a restricted number of license, make sure your device and your allocation match. But for free apps, we always recommend, because you'll notice for free apps you'll have higher number of license available, which is like usually 500. You want to allocate as much as possible. The reason is because you're not likely going to have 20 iPads. In future, you're going to buy more iPads and that are going to be part of this group. So you want to allocate 20 more so that, next time when you add more device to the smart group, you don't have to come back to this app to modify it. So I'm going to go ahead and type in 1 here because I want 1 license allocated to this device. And assignment type, you want to click it. You want to keep it auto. What auto means is that it's going to push it out to the iPad. If you select the method on demand, remember that catalog app I showed on the iPad. On demand makes it available on the catalog. So whenever you want, you can go into the catalog and click install, and it will install it on the iPad. And you don't want to modify anything else. Remove on unenroll. Keep that checked, and leave all other options the same. I want to bring your attention to the license part. So how do you find out how many licenses you have? So total license is the number of licenses you have available for this app. For free apps, you'll sometimes notice it's 500 copies, and for a purchased app, you'll notice it's usually 35 device, 58 device, whatever the number is, and it will show you how many you have allocated. If there is on hold, it will also show you that. So now that I'm done setting it up, I'm just going to say save. Usually it takes about a minute or two depending on your network connection and how fast it gets pushed out. So let me just try to connect my iPad to show you that whether it got pushed out or not. Sorry, it's just sorry, the reason our iPad was not really connecting was not working because it was sleeping. So now that we waked it up, it should be okay. Okay, in the meantime, while I'm waiting for my iPad to work, I'm also going to show you how you can actually deploy web clips using smart groups. So we're under the same section. So you have pushed out apps. Now you want to push out a web clip. So there is a, there is a web clip that you want student to have access to, like virtual library or ServiceIT or AW page. So we want to use ServiceIT in our case. I'm going to go into web here. And so same thing for web clips, it's under the same section, apps and books. I'm just going to repeat it. List view, you're already under there, and you want to type in, actually I think if you go under web, yeah, you don't need to type in your Trillium number here. If you click on add application, it will bring up the window. It will ask you, it will show your organization group ID. In my case, I have multiple because it's a test environment, but you will just see your school here. And for platform, you want to select Apple. Okay, so I actually want to show you that the CP24 app that I pushed out, it's loading. So I'm just going to show you. So see how it's loading on my screen right now. So yeah, it does take a minute or two, but yeah, it's pretty quick. It's not that bad. It's within a minute or so, depending on your network connection. Okay, let's now revert back to the other one. Okay, so make sure it has your school name here, and for platform you want to select Apple iOS, and then you want to click continue. So you want to give it a name. I'm going to call mine ServiceIT. And for URL, I'm just going to simply copy it from here. Okay, and for image, I definitely do want it to have a nice image to it so that it's easier to look at, and someone can easily say, oh, this is the ServiceIT. I believe I actually have a picture saved on here. I'm just you can click or drag it here. You can click or drag it here, or if you click on here, it's going to ask you for the file path. So this is my ServiceIT. I'm going to click open. And assignment. Now the part comes with which smart group you want to push it to. Remember I said you cannot just assign an app or web clip to just one device. You need to have a smart group. So assignment group, if you click on it here, it's going to bring up all your smart groups. I'm going to push it down to the science class smart group that I created. And I want to leave everything, exclusion to no, and I want to say the push method to auto. I want every device to have it, but if you set it to on demand, it will make it available on catalog. As for advanced, leave it for removable, leave it to no, and for full screen, you want to say no. Removable, if you set it to yes, what will happen is if someone holds onto the app, if you hold on to an app on your iPad, it shakes, it has a cross at the top left corner, and if you leave the removal option, that red cross will be available and someone can remove it. So we want to set it to no, and I'm going to say save and publish. Okay, so it says it's added here, and I'm just going to connect, and I have to click publish. Okay, now I'm going to connect back to my iPad, right there, voila, it's there. So you can see it doesn't even take much time. You can move the app around, organize it, but if I see how my apps are shaking, but that red cross, not the red cross, but the cross at the left corner of the app isn't available because we said we don't want the option to be enabled where they can remove it. Alright, so remember, always, once your device is enrolled, provide a friendly name. Once you have provided a friendly name, go ahead and create the smart group. Once you have created the smart group, then push out the apps, then push out the web clips. Now I want to show you, say you want to remove an app from your smart group. To remove an app from your smart group, you have to go to apps and books again. And then you're going to go to list view. So say we don't want that CP24 app anymore, that we just pushed it out. So I'm going to, same thing, you have to type in your school Trillium number first. So you're going to go to I'm going to go to 9991. Okay, and then, so see the CP24 app, you don't have to go to edit assignment tab, you can simply click on the app. It will bring it up for you. So see how it says here right now, this is assigned to that smart group I created for science class. All you have to do is click the cross. And I will say deleting this assignment will uninstall the application from all your device. And eventually that's all we really want to do. And you want to click OK. And then once you have done that, go ahead and click Save. Okay, now if you want to, okay, let me show you that this app is going to be removed from my iPad. And there you go. It's done. It's gone. So that CP24 app, I'm switching between my first screen on the iPad and my previous screen. Now that's gone. The CP24 is not there. Now we want to remove the web clip. To remove the web clip, first thing you want to check is that you have to remove the smart group from that. So it's not the same process as the apps, but you go under web tab and you go under the web link, web clip. You have to click cross right here, because if you don't remove it, if you remove that web clip, what will happen is it will still remember that this smart group still has this. So you want to remove this from here, and you want to say edit app info and then save and publish. So it says there is no smart group assigned. This web clip will be assigned to this web app will not be assigned to any device, and that's exactly what we want. We're gonna click OK, and that's it, done. Now you don't even want this. So if I go into my iPad, actually, let me show you that it's removed. There. So that web clip is no longer there. Now you don't even want this web clip to be available on your AirWatch console. You just simply go in here and you click delete. It will delete it completely from your environment. Also, one more thing, when you remove an app from a smart group, does it remove it from the AirWatch environment? No, it does not. All it does, it simply removes it from the smart group. But so that CP24 app that I removed from my iPad, it just removed it from the iPad. It didn't remove it from my environment. So it's still available here. But if I bring your attention down to here, see, here it says I have purchased 100 license, and then I haven't used up any. That's why it says available. But previously it had 1 here, and it had 99 here, because I used up 1 license. Now that we have covered apps section, I want to show you a little more into detail about the devices details view. So if I go under devices, dashboard, and then if I go under list view, okay, I actually noticed someone say, when I type in my school Trillium number, it shows no record found. So if you're not seeing any apps that are listed under your school, it depends on whether your school is enrolled on AirWatch or not, whether the ticket has been completed, and have you filled up the form. If you have not filled up the form yet, then I would suggest to fill up the form. And if you have filled up the form and waited 24 to 72 hours and still don't see it, did you click on the sync asset tab? And if you have clicked on the sync asset tab and still don't see it, we will definitely go ahead and log a ticket for you, Bruce, because then that means there's something definitely wrong with it. So the other question that was asked by teacher Han, can you clarify what exclusion means when pushing or removing apps? So if I go into here, list view, and then I'm just gonna see. So if I open this app up, where is it? Where's the exclusion part? Sorry, I'm just looking for that section. Hi, Teacher Han, can you just tell us where you saw that exclusion part? Because I'm trying to replicate the problem, but I'm not seeing it right here. So is there a specific section you saw that exclusion when pushing or removing app? Because I'm in here right now, and I don't see the exclusion part.
Maybe web clips.
Could be that. Let's see. Because the exclusion was under web clips.
Yeah, I think it's under web clips.
So if I go in here, and then if I just
assignment.
Exclusion.
Oh.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what that is.
I'm actually not sure what that means. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. We can actually research it and find it out for you what it means. But we're actually told exclusion to no. That's what we were told to set it up as. Will this chat be available when we view the recording later? No, right? As far as I know, this chat feature, the chat is not available, so you won't be able to view it. So if you really want to copy it, be our guest, go ahead and copy the chat, because even we are copying the chat because it's really good questions. It gives us time to even research through it. Okay, and Teacher Han, I will try to find out answer for you, and if possible, log a ticket. I'll give you a call, and I'll explain to you what it means. Okay, so I was just covering the devices, and then list view. And I want to just dive down to my iPad. I just wanted to mention a few things here. So now that my iPad is working, that enable loss mode, that time did not work. I just wanted to show it what it does to my iPad if it's on enable loss mode. So if I click on this here right now, and if I put please return this iPad to room 202, and if I send this off, I'm going to bring up my iPad right now, and you see it says lost iPad. So that's the message I was trying to show you, and my iPad wasn't working. So now you can see, so my colleague right here, Brandon, he's actually trying to press on the iPad, and nothing's happening. So it puts the device to a complete lock, so no one can use it. Now, say someone returned the device to you and you see the device is okay. Now you can go ahead and disable the lock mode. So I'm just going to refresh my page. Sometimes you do need to refresh it in order for you to see the disable loss mode. So I'm going to go ahead and click this. And it's going to say lost mode disabled successfully, and I'm going to click OK. Now I'm going to switch to my iPad. See how it says iPad located, and it says the location of this iPad was sent to Toronto District School Board. Now if I press continue, it's going to bring me inside to my iPad, and if I click home, there. Now I have control over it. So you could utilize this functionality to really, if it's lost, you can manage it using that. And as for passcode, if you want to have a passcode set up for all your device, I know it's a bit time sensitive. What you can do, you can send us a ticket, and we could definitely do that for you if you want to set up a school with the entire passcode environment. And you can also remove that passcode from here. You just have to do clear passcode. This will say, are you sure you wish to continue? Click OK. And you can push out iOS update through here if there is an update available. If you, there are a couple of models that are out there. Model school iPads, I noticed they are usually 9.2 or 9.3. That's the latest it can take. So if you click on iOS update, even though it will tell you that this will send out the iOS update, but it doesn't really tell you whether it can take it or not. Like whether this is so for example, right now it's 10.2. It says there's no available OS update, but even though when I pushed it out, it doesn't tell me that. It just simply says, okay, we have sent out the iOS update for you. Okay, what other thing that we can utilize here? Okay,
let's show them. Yeah, so where you can find information regarding help. The documentation.
Okay, yeah, we actually use this one right here, top right corner, where you see the question button. It's really good. If you click on this, it says open help page. You can type in well, it didn't open up. Maybe because I'm in a different environment.
Well, maybe.
Let me switch over.
You can't get to the help guide?
What happens, can someone try clicking the question button, see if it opens up help for you? Because I tried under my help desk role, it allows me to open up help, but I wonder for teachers, school-based user, whether it will open up. Okay. So what Teacher Han was asking something.
So why don't you, because one of the teachers was showing.
Sorry, we're just checking the questions and trying to communicate at the same time. So Bruce
was saying he doesn't have any in his environment.
Okay, Bruce, what we will do is we actually haven't. This is the first time we got a question regarding the help. So we usually utilize the help feature. We have access to it, but it looks like when I try it under my school-based environment, it doesn't open it up for me. And it'll be a really good feature to have because I mean it answers a lot of questions. What we will do, we'll take it to our application support team and we'll see if we can have that feature available for our school-based user. Okay. And is there any more questions? So let's see. Oh, you got help. That's great. So you are able to open it then. Thank you. So it works. I think it just doesn't work under my environment.
Well, I couldn't find any apps for the school number.
Okay. Any other question that we can answer? We have 4 more minutes left. This is the first time we actually finished the webinar on time. We had to modify our webinar a bit to really, fulfill within the time limit because usually we go over it by a lot, by usually 30 minutes. So we're really happy that we accomplished this part. So if you have any question, just go ahead and ask and we'll be really happy to answer it.
You can actually pull up. Ask them for the serial number.
Okay. So that device that is actually assigned under your name, can you kindly give me that serial number of that device? I know what happened. Probably when you, if it's a brand new device, when you enrolled it, the screen that comes up saying username and password, you usually have to type in your school Trillium number for it, and most likely you have typed in your employee number and password. And the thing is, it accepts it. That's the problem, right? So the other way you can do it is so once you have the serial number, you can go ahead and paste it on the comment section. I'll look it up for you. In the meantime, what you can do, you can actually reset the device. So if you put it to factory reset, it's gonna first screen will be hello. Second, it will say language. Then it will be country. Then it will ask you for a Wi-Fi portal. So you'll have to select TDSB Wi-Fi because it's the first time logging into the network. Then it will say TDSB is configuring your iPad. Then if you click next, it's gonna come up to a screen which says username and password. So now you can actually type in your Trillium number. So your school Trillium number for username as well for password, and then click next. That will actually resolve the issue. Thank you, Han. Yeah, if you Han, if you have any problem, just call the help desk, and we'll actually try to reach out to you to see if we can help you with this. Okay. And Bruce, I'm gonna look up the serial number right now. So I'm gonna go under devices, list view.
If it's enrolled, they should be able to.
Oh, I actually have to switch to help desk.
Switch to your role. I've not set up my password yet.
Sorry, AirWatch is a bit slow sometimes. We hope it will pick up the speed. But I'm just helping Bruce here because the device is showing under his name. Sorry, his employee number rather than the
9 G N D B E B F P 84. Did you wipe the iPad?
No, I didn't. Okay, so yeah, I can see it says your username here. Can you what happens if you try opening Agent app on your iPad, and for username type in the school Trillium number, and for password type in the school Trillium number? If that doesn't work, then you might have to do a factory reset and follow the steps that I mentioned. But it shows it's under your school eStel. So for user information, you probably have to log in using the Trillium number. I have tried that previously, and it had worked for me. It had worked for me. So if you try it, so on that specific iPad, if you open up Agent, For username, type in, I believe your school Trillium number is 1309. So type in 1309 for username and then 1309 for password. I think that should work. If it doesn't work, then just do a factory reset and then just follow along us to, if you see the ServiceIT MDM instruction page, it will show you how to enroll an existing iPad, how to enroll the new iPad. So if you just follow along, you should be okay. We also have posted the resources material under here. So we have the support links here. This is the HTTPS. Actually, let me maximize the screen. This is the support website. So you'll see training materials, webinar, and then PDF documents, which tells you how basic things that we actually have covered are all there. So yeah, just follow this along and you should be good. And again, we are here. You can call us anytime between the hours of 7:30 to 5 o'clock. Any other question? No problem, Maria. Thank you so much for participating. We really appreciate all of your time. And we hope this was resourceful. And if you have any feedback, you'll be actually provided with a feedback form. And if you like some changes, please let us know. We always try to customize our webinar according to your need. So looks like it's 12:32. If you don't have any question, we will end the webinar. But you can always send us your question through feedback form, or you can call us through help desk. We can all help you. Did you see my question about maps for lost device? So if you mean location services, then currently that location services feature is not available under AirWatch. We had to turn that off due to security reason. But you could utilize the enable lost mode. So if you notice that iPad is lost, you could use and if it's an AirWatch, you could use the more action tab and enable lost mode feature. However, the location services has been turned off due to legal reason as well for privacy issues.
You click the search for a lost device section. Does it show on a map? No.
No, it doesn't show a map because it's turned off.
I guess they don't want us spying on people.
Yeah, they don't want us to spy on people because when you take the iPad home, then it will show us your home address, and we don't want that. That's really a security breach.
It's one of the big debates with EMM products is, how far is too far when you're spying on people. Thanks, everyone. Hope I can get many apps.
All right, we hope so too. Thank you so much again. Last call for any question. If not, thank you so much for your time, and you'll be provided with the feedback form. Any suggestion, send it our way. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Have a wonderful afternoon.